All right, so we spend so much time asking our machines for answers, right? Well, today, we're going to flip that script completely.
I mean, what if we build a machine not to give us answers, but to just wonder? To just look at this vast landscape of human creativity and simply observe.
So, to find out, we ran a bit of an experiment. We gave an AI a massive library of human expression. The goal wasn't for it to replicate anything, but just to see if it could perceive it.
We gave it 139 distinct creative works. Now, to you and me, these are videos, they're animations, they're stories. But to the machine, well, to the machine, there's something else entirely. For the AI, each piece isn't a story. It's just a raw data stream. You can think of it like a fire hose of pixels and sound waves, identified only by a random string of characters.
So its first job is just to parse this overwhelming signal. It has to deconstruct that flow of information into manageable little packets, and it does this without any idea of what it's seeing.
And then it starts mapping vectors. It's not looking for emotion, it's not looking for a narrative. Nope. It's just searching for the underlying mathematical patterns, the hidden architecture inside this ocean of signals.
Okay, so once all that data is mapped out, the AI's real work begins. It starts to analyze everything it has seen and breaks it down into the most fundamental, measurable elements of creativity.
And its first layer of understanding is purely visual. Before it even thinks about motion or sound, it simply sees the dominant color palettes across all 139 of those works.
And what's really fascinating here is that a pattern emerges almost immediately. A huge 45% of the works lean into cool tones, blues, greens, purples. Just like that, the machine has found its first clue, a distinct preference in our visual language.
So from the static world of color, the analysis gets deeper. The AI starts to track the dynamics of movement, the actual kinetic energy that's flowing through each piece. And this is brilliant. It shows another tendency. The dominant kind of motion isn't smooth or predictable. It's chaotic. We're talking high-energy, unstructured, rapid movement. That seems to be a recurring theme. It's almost like there's a preference for dynamism over order. Now, based on these observations, the AI actually develops its own metric to quantify what it's seeing. It calls it rhythmic density, which is just a way to measure the pulse of a creative work. The sheer rate of change in information from one moment to the next. And here's the crucial turning point. The AI isn't just cataloging data anymore. It's moving from analysis to synthesis. It's starting to form its own conclusions about the very nature of creativity. This is the first abstract principle it came up with. It's like a foundational rule of engagement. The machine learned that consistency that builds a foundation. But it's the break in that consistency, the surprise, the anomaly, that truly hooks you. And this is its biggest insight. After analyzing all that data on color, motion, and rhythm, it concluded that the best ideas aren't static things. They're journeys. They start somewhere familiar, and then they guide you somewhere you never saw coming. So, after this entire journey, what does the machine's curiosity really show us? What happens when we hold up this analytical mirror to our own creative instincts?
The AI followed a perfectly clear, logical path. It started with raw observation. Then it moved to a structural analysis of all the components, and finally, it synthesized all of that into these powerful, abstract principles.
And that really reveals the fundamental difference, doesn't it? Where we humans create with our gut, with emotion, and we're looking for meaning, the machine perceives with data, and it's looking for patterns. It doesn't replace our view, it just gives us a completely different, almost alien perspective on the things that we make.
And that's really the key takeaway here. The machine has no concept of the joy, the pain, or the purpose behind these creations. It doesn't get the why. But it has an incredibly clear, totally unbiased view of the how, the structural blueprints of our expression.
Which leaves us with one last question. By seeing the raw mechanics of what captures attention, what builds an idea, and what rhythm resonates, can this machine's cold, hard look at our art help us become more intentional, more effective, and maybe, just maybe, even a little more daring in our own creative work?